Less than EP class equals data end equals 559, data start equals 78, greater than this weekend. What should have been a symbol of international camaraderie and naval tradition turned into a tragic disaster in New York City. The Mexican Navy's tall ship less than M data end equals 261 data start equals 249 greater than Cuauhtémoc. A majestic sailing vessel used for cadet training collided with the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, leaving 2 dead and 19 others injured. Among the victims was a young cadet, America Yamilet Sanchez, from Jalapa, Veracruz, whose dreams were cut short in a heartbreaking moment that shook both nations. Less than P class equals data end equals 1141. Data start equals 561 greater than the crash occurred Saturday evening around 8:20 p.m. as the less than M data end equals 634 data start equals 622 greater than Cuauhtémoc was navigating the East River. The ship, recognizable by its towering masts and the large Mexican flag proudly waving above deck, suddenly reversed at high speed toward the bridge. Eyewitness videos captured the horrifying scene, mast after mast snapping as they struck the bridge's lower span. Despite the dramatic collision and the ship's apparent loss of control, no one on the bridge was reported injured, and miraculously, no sailors fell into the river, though the chaos on deck was clearly visible. Less than P class equals data end equals 1493. Data start equals 1143 greater than America. Sanchez's death has hit especially hard. Veracruz's governor Rocio Nahle Garcia expressed her sorrow and support for Sanchez's family, calling her a source of pride and mourning her loss with the entire state. This incident underscores the dangers naval cadets can face, even in training missions that are typically more ceremonial in nature. Less than P class equals data end equals 1933. Data start equals 1495 greater than the vessel, nearly 300 feet long and with masts soaring over 160 feet high, had left Acapulco in early April on a global training voyage expected to last 254 days. New York was just one of 22 ports across 15 nations on its itinerary. After arriving in the city on May 13th, the ship had opened its decks to visitors for several days. No one could have predicted that just a few days later, it would be the scene of such a devastating event. Less than P class equals data end equals 2522. Data start equals 1935 greater than. Questions now swirl around what exactly caused the crash. Initial theories point to a possible propulsion failure. Some experts also suggest that the ship's maneuvering during a period of fast currents and gusting winds contributed to the incident. Maritime analyst Sal Mercogliano pointed out that the timing of the departure may have played a role. He emphasized that an earlier departure during outgoing tides would have been safer, suggesting the situation was worsened by worst-case scenario conditions, including strong currents, wind, and lack of a properly positioned tugboat. Less than P class equals data end equals 295, O data start equals 2524, greater than. Meanwhile, a political storm brews in the U.S. as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer questioned whether recent staffing changes and cuts at the U.S. Coast Guard contributed to the incident. Federal authorities, including the Department of Homeland Security, firmly denied those claims, stating that the Coast Guard had not been affected by hiring freezes, and that the incident stemmed from mechanical failure, not oversight. Less than P class equals data end equals 3294, data start equals 2952, greater than. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum called for unity, urging people not to politicize the event and remembering it for what it was: a tragic accident. New York officials echoed that sentiment, emphasizing that a thorough investigation will be conducted by U.S. and Mexican agencies, likely involving the National Transportation Safety Board. Less than P class equals data end equals 3782 data start equals 3296 greater than. The less than M data end equals 3312 data start equals 3300 greater than Cuauhtémoc is now docked in Lower Manhattan, its tall masts shattered, its crew mourning, and its mission temporarily suspended. The Brooklyn Bridge, despite suffering minor structural impacts, was cleared and reopened after inspection, but emotionally, the scars of this crash especially for the family of America Sanchez, will not heal as quickly. This event reminds us all of the risks faced, even in peacetime service, and the fragility of life amidst steel, wind, and water. Stay subscribed for more videos.